This is John Stewart, Green Lantern of Sector 2814, and you are listening to Geek Talk.
This is Professor Charles Xavier. There are more powerful mutants out there, but they're listening to Geek Talk.
What's up, everybody? It's Brad Hawkins, Ryan Steele from VR Troopers. We are VR, and you're tuned in to Geek Talk.
This is Dr. Egghead. How am I supposed to conquer the world and build the Eggman Empire if they're always listening to Geek Talk? Hedgehog!
This is the Didact. Humanity's imprisonment is a kindness, but not while listening to Geek Talk.
This is Ryu from Wreck-It Ralph, and you're listening to Geek Talk.
Hadouken!
This is Marek Ishtar. Let the shadow game begin. You're listening to Geek Talk.
This is Juno Eclipse. I've got a bad feeling about this, but you're listening to Geek Talk.
This is Commodore Don Krieg of One Piece. Don't ever defy me. Listen to Geek Talk. That is an order.
This is Lion-O, and you're listening to Geek Talk. Thunder, 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 Thundercats. Ho!
Hey, it's James Arnold Taylor, the voice of Obi-Wan Kenobi. I'm Master Plo Koon, and I sense the Force is strong with Geek Talk. Master Plo, do you talk geek? Koto-ya, Obi-Wan. Koto-ya. Oh, Koto-ya indeed. Now, if anybody else can figure out what he's talking about, let's listen to Geek Talk.
Yep. Today, I have Tasia Valenza, the voice of Shaak Ti in the Clone Wars. Welcome, Tasia.
Thank you for having me.
It's such an honor to have you. I mean, you've actually done one of the, I would have to say, one of the iconic Jedi Masters, Shaak Ti.
She is one of my favorite all-timers. I mean, it is an honor to be affiliated with such a cool Jedi. I mean, just a Jedi in general, but she's super cool.
Right. And when they cast you, did you have any idea that which voice they were gonna cast you with?
I did audition for that particular one, but I wasn't as it had been a while since I had connected, to the movies. So it was just like, oh, cool. That's that cool, cool chick with the tails who didn't really speak in the movies. So it was nice to be able to, give voice to her.
Exactly. I mean, she actually had a pretty good demeanor as far as actual persona that you gave her. So,
thank you.
Yeah, I actually loved seeing her in like the cadets and stuff like that. So.
Oh yeah, no, I enjoyed so much her motherly role, her maternal energy.
So, you were probably a Star Wars fan before you got cast for the Clone Wars, weren't you?
Oh yeah, big time. I mean, but from the earlier Star Wars. I mean, I was I got to see it as a kid, the first movie, and once you've seen one, you're pretty much hooked. So it was
same here. I was a kid when I first seen the Empire Strikes Back and all that. So
yeah, those were my era, and then the next three, they were it's like anything. It was, to me, the first three, the originals, are like the be all end all. And then everything else is secondary and third place and fourth place. But the first three were, rocking for me.
Right. Yeah. See, I myself, I grew up I was born in 1977, so.
Right. I wasn't that early, but I'm. Well, actually, no. What am I talking about? You're younger than I am.
Just a little ways.
Oh yeah, that's okay. I'm totally open to honoring my age, because I have the most cool sequential birthday, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I can't diss that.
Right, and you've been part of the Star Wars voiceover for a while now with.
Yeah, I've done all kinds of roles with their first games and all kinds of different Star Wars Old Republic, but if I go through my IMDb, there was a lot of things I did when the original games came out.
Right, and that's usually pretty good. I myself like Knights of the Old Republic best as far as older games go, so, yeah. And you've also done voice work for different animated superhero series.
Yes. I've enjoyed, playing a myriad of cool Marvel characters and Wonder Woman and Poison Ivy and all the fun, strong female characters.
Right. And something I ask this because we're all geeks at some point or another when we're doing superheroes. Is
yes.
You grew up with them, I grew up with them.
I grew up with them.
Is what would be your favorite superhero of all time?
Oh my gosh, you put me on the spot here. Well, I would have to say, based on being a young girl and watching them, I was. I have two answers. I was madly in love with Christopher Reeves, who played Superman, so I was planning on marrying him. So I would have to go with Superman for male, but I did watch, Linda Carter, Wonder Woman.
Of course.
So I'm going to have to go with both. I was madly in love with Superman, but I wanted to be Wonder Woman.
Hey.
There you have it. There you have it.
There you go.
Quintessential answers. That is the truth.
Basically, you could just say that you wanted to be Wonder Woman married to Superman.
I would totally. I mean, talk about a power couple in this particular part of the world, right?
Yeah.
Hollywood has nothing on them in terms of power couple.
Exactly. So yes, I am one. I always ask that because of the fact that it's amazing how many people have different likes of superheroes. I myself am the Captain America.
Oh, Captain America, see? And that's your time. Now, what have you found that there's one that, is overrides, gets the more numbers, or is it totally
For me,
across the board?
I'm more of a Marvel character, and I usually say Captain America's been one of my favorites since I was a kid, because growing up with the original Captain America movie. So,
yeah.
And then I also was into Justice League a little bit.
Justice League is a great one too. I mean, you can't really go wrong. They're all fantastic.
Exactly.
And it's funny because nothing's antiquated. It's all right here, modern. We grew up with it, and there's a whole other generation growing up with it.
Exactly. Yeah, and Captain America, I myself even dressed as Captain America one year.
Wow.
I was gonna started making my own homemade Captain America shield.
I'm sure you Instagrammed it.
Nope.
You should.
I haven't yet. I've been working.
There's time.
I haven't finished it yet.
Oh, well, see, when you get it out there.
Right. It's basically made out of a garbage can lid.
Love it. Very, very good place to start, and good use of recycling.
Exactly. I look at it as I'm not using the lid anymore. And might as well make use of it.
That's right. Something creative and beautiful.
So, what's it been like to do voiceovers and everything?
Oh, I always call myself a recovering actress and a fully functioning voiceover artist, because I came from the world of on camera and I segued into voiceovers, and I love it, and I choose to stay in the closet, as it were, doing it as opposed to being on camera, because I just think it's a better business and I enjoy it more.
And then you also did soap operas on All My Children. Did roles.
Yep, that was again my earlier life. I was on All My Children, and that started mostly my career. And then I was the voice of SoapNet, which for 10 years that actually showed soap operas. So it was kind of a cool transition of still being with my peeps, but being again the voice of, as opposed to on camera. So it's been a really nice transition to from having a very I would say a 15-year on-camera career, and then having now at least a 20-year voiceover career. So it's pretty cool.
Right.
They overlapped by 7 years or so.
Right. So, and I also noticed is your actual name is actually came after the movie Fantasia.
That's true, you see, and my initials are TV, so I was destined. There was no avoiding this for me. I was never going to be, a pediatrician. It was not in this.
Well, you never know. I mean,
yeah, but I definitely was meant to do this, so I'm very.
So you probably actually watched the movie Fantasia once or twice.
Oh yes, Yes, I did. It's not one of my favorites. I think it was a little bit strange. I was, as a kid, it was like, I was like, I only like the Mickey and the elephant and the hippopotamuses. It was a little too, not enough words, not enough Disney-esque, a little too like somebody's, smoking something here. So it was, I like the idea of it, but it's not one of my favorite Disney movies.
Right. And you've had a chance to actually visit colleges across the country.
Yes, I used to talk about my experiences being an on-camera actress and having an eating disorder, because I was always trying to maintain incredibly thin physique, which you must maintain, and I again wanted to help other women and even men, who feel always pressured by that. And it was called, Desperate Attempts. And now I'm planning on taking it on the road again, but this time my subject is a lot more, positive in terms of an upbeat subject.
Right.
Not that eating disorders isn't important, but it's my next evolution is using voiceovers as a jumping off point to talk about the most powerful communication tool we have, which is not our iPhone, but our voice, which I think is still, it's kind of definitely not focused on as much because of the day our technology has kind of overridden it. But I think it's a really important piece to acknowledge and become aware of. And my passion is now to share, especially, with college age kids going out into the world and trying to get jobs, how to tap into their voice.
Right. I myself can tap into my voice pretty easy as far as like voiceover myself. Mm-hmm. I actually recently had Tom Kane on the show a while back.
Tom.
And him and I did Yoda talking to Yoda.
Wow. How was that?
It was a lot of fun.
Cool.
He said I did a good impression.
Well, if Tom says that, it must be so.
Powerful it is. Mm-hmm.
Oh, very good. Very good. So you obviously have a great desire to do some voices.
Well, I do them off-side and stuff, just for fun. And
I just wrote a blog called Passion Projects, that we all should have passion projects. So that sounds like it's your passion project, as well as this, this podcast.
Exactly. I mean, and I also like to send off for autographs. I like doing so. And I got a good collection of autographs of Star Wars from way back when.
Cool. Way back. How far back?
Well, let's just say I've actually got the original Emperor's autograph, Clive Revill. So
that's very cool.
Yeah, and that's where I myself am a big Star Wars fan. And you've seen the trailer for the new movie?
Yes, it looks cool.
You're ready for it?
Oh, I'm more than ready for it. I wish it wasn't going to take so long.
I'm the same way. I told people, I said, I'm going to have to put it in the request off book to get that night off and get that next morning off, because I will be waiting in line at the midnight premiere.
It's amazing the legions of fans that Star Wars. I mean, it's so. I would say out of any franchise, it's the greatest universal devotion to all things Star Wars that any other franchise that I've ever heard of.
Right, and you also were not just part of Star Wars, but you've been part of Star Trek also.
Yes, the other amazing franchise to be a part of. I got to be their first adult Vulcan.
Oh, man.
Next Generation. That was the Tashanik, which was the first adult Vulcan, which was really fun to play because, of course, I grew up with that, too. I grew up with the original Star Wars. I mean, Star Trek. So I was like, wow, look at me. So it's definitely one of the top jobs that I had on camera in terms of, a fan of something and then being in it.
Right. And did you ever get a chance to meet like Leonard Nimoy in those kind of TV roles?
I think I met him off camera, but I mean, it wasn't on a job, but he was definitely, I felt like I did him proud because I looked a lot like him when I was in my with my ears and I actually think I looked very much like I was his spawn. I was his child for sure.
Yeah, that would have been fun to be on set with Star Trek. I mean, I actually got to go down to St. Louis when my son was in the hospital down there.
Oh.
And he actually had heart surgery back when he was just born.
Oh, no way. Wow.
So, but his name's actually Lucas.
Oh, wow.
So,
after the
George Lucas, or not exactly George Lucas, but Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, neat.
So, so when he gets older and he does something wrong and he tries to say it, no, Luke, I am your father.
You did that all for that, right? You saw you
well,
planned
of
that far
course. If you can't do that, then what kind of Star Wars fan would you be?
Right, exactly. You have to be able to use it on your own child.
Right. And that's usually what I look at. But they actually have a Star Trek exhibit there. Down there.
Oh, really? In St. Louis?
Yeah, at the St. Louis Science Museum.
Neat.
I don't have the pictures because I didn't have the money to buy them.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually got to sit on the captain's chair on the bridge of the Enterprise.
Wow, that's got to be one of the highlights then.
So
in terms of nerd world, that would be like right up there, right? Geek.
Yeah, nerd and geeks. So, but yeah, and have you had a chance to? Do you play the video games you've been on, or have you had ever played them?
That's funny. That's a very interesting question, and I actually tried once to play Leisure Suit Larry way back in the day, but that was like, what? How do you even work this thing? So I have yet to play it because I don't have an Xbox or any of the mediums. I have a Wii, and none of my games are on a Wii. And my son, who's of age, is dying for an Xbox. So when I finally relent, then I'll play some of my own games. But I've been putting it off because I'm trying to just keep it from him as long as possible before.
You're talking about an original Xbox or like a 360 or something like
that. The newest ones. I mean, I'm sure he wants the latest greatest.
They always do.
Right. So I'm just holding off because I would prefer him not to play some of the games,
right.
Or at least play them as often and as long. So it's coming, but I will then, end up buying, of course, any of the games that I haven't. And hopefully the good thing is that a lot of the games I feel comfortable playing with him, so that'll be fun.
Right. And that's actually really good. I mean, you at least know how to at least game some.
Yeah.
So I always tell people who, even if you don't play steady, if you've played a game or anything, or any kind of game, whether it be gambling or anything, I call you a gamer.
Oh, there's that right. Oh well, I do love my 21. I do love my blackjack. So I don't know if that's that qualifies, but I certainly.
Hey, I call that qualifying.
Actually, I play on the Wii with them. I just, but I don't know if Wii is considered gaming. I don't know. It's not.
To me, it's still gaming because I do it with my son. So.
I game when Wii. I love Wii. Some of the fun games because they're just some cute exercise like all the Wii sports. They're really actually quite fun. But again, I think there comes a time. I don't know how old your son is, but my son is like beyond Wii. He's like, all right, done with Wii, Mom. Got to move on. So.
Yeah, my son's actually just turned 3 in November.
Oh my gosh! So you're Wii ready for a while. My son's 11, so he's just past. He's just like Wii is passe. Time to move on to the Xbox. So,
well,
enjoy your Wiiing with him.
Oh, I don't live with him at the moment, but I was out there just a couple weeks ago, and one of the games he played. I don't know if you ever heard of the Chuck E. Cheese game.
I haven't heard of it. I know Chuck E. Cheese very well.
Well, see, basically, it's based off some of the stuff at Chuck E. Cheese.
Wow,
you got a skee ball course thing.
Great.
Basically, and then you got a basketball hoop thing. He'd
Fun.
point. Basically, he'd hold the controller. He'd point at which game he wanted me to play.
Oh, really? He taught you how to do it?
No, he didn't teach me how to do it. I pretty much figure out most of it myself. But
Yourself, but he was just playing with you.
yeah, he would point at the game he'd like to see played.
Cool.
And then we'd choose that game and play it. The game he chose most of all was the skee ball.
Oh, yeah, because that's a fun in real life to play that one.
Oh, we were at Chuck E. Cheese's in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I don't know how well you know South Dakota.
Now, I do know Sioux Falls, though, in terms of my friend lived there for a little while, so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, they have a Chuck E. Cheese down there, and went to a Chuck E. Cheese, and that's the game he liked.
Awesome.
Was skee ball.
That's a great game. I still play it with my kids.
Oh, I do too. With Lucas, he's got 2 older sisters, which I love hanging out with and spending time with. So
go down to the arcade. I love arcades.
Yep. So basically, though, do you have anything coming up here that, like, for voiceover work or anything like that you'd like to promote today?
That I can. Let me see. Well,
that you're allowed to talk about.
Exactly. That's always the problem. Is that they're so picky. You can't say anything about anything. So I'm always afraid to open my mouth. They're like, oh my gosh, can I say that? Can I say anything I'm working on or worked on or until it's come out? I think pretty much anything I can say is already out. I did play a really cool character that I did find out came out in World of Warcraft, Admiral Garan.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and of course there's a lot of World of Warcraft fans out there.
Well, I myself don't have World of Warcraft because it costs money and it's not something I have affordable.
Right, but there are a lot of fans out there, so that's a fun one that I can say that I've done. Otherwise, I have to wait till everybody allows me to talk about anything that I can, so I'm sorry that I can't.
Oh, that's okay. I understand.
Yeah, I just don't want to get you never want to get in trouble.
Yeah, that's always a good thing. And do you attend quite a few conventions, or are you usually?
Well, I don't do a lot. I do have one coming up in Ohio in Cleveland called Cleveland Concoction, which is actually a fan-based convention, which I think is really cool. Very rare. I've never really been to a fan-based where it's like the fans put it all together. So that's something that is coming up, and I'm doing that, I think, March 14th and 15th. So if anyone's in Cleveland and they want to come and, get an autograph signing, I'm doing a signing there, so that should be fun.
Yeah, that would be fun. I myself don't get to Cleveland myself because it's quite a drive for me.
Yeah, no, I would imagine. I would imagine.
Yeah, because Minneapolis is probably the biggest city nearby, and that's 4-hour drive.
That's a big drive.
Yeah, so, yeah, that's actually really cool. And basically, though, as far as some of your voiceover stuff, when you did the clone, have you been part of Rebels at all or seen?
Oh, no. No, I haven't. I would love to be invited, though. So that's like a definitely.
Maybe we should take and see about getting them, putting a name mention out for Shaak Ti.
I would love it. Anything you can do, Tony, and I'll get all the fans to request Shaak Ti to show up there. That'd be great.
Yeah, that would actually be pretty cool. And when you did the Shaak Ti and she met up with Domino Squad, did you actually get a chance to work with a lot of the actors that were there?
Well, there's only one guy who plays all the Domino Squad, he's so talented, and of course, right now, oh my gosh, who is it that plays Domino Squad? He is so talented, and he does every single character.
It wasn't D. Bradley Baker, was it?
D. Bradley.
Oh, okay.
all the Domino Squad. Can you believe it that he changes his voice? He's so talented. And
yeah.
So he was, I worked with him, and I worked with Who? Oh gosh, no. I'm thinking about you know how your brain freezes in the moment. James Arnold Taylor, I love him, but
I actually talked to him.
He's great, such a good man, and so talented.
Yeah.
So with him, and then I'm just thinking about the actress I worked with, who's so cool. Who played Lama Sue? Who is it?
I'm drawing a blank myself, so.
Yeah, oh, she's great. She's really great. But anyway, but the truth is that Dee Bradley playing all those roles blew me away right in front of me, acting them all out.
Right. So basically, you kind of did it all live in one studio.
Yeah, we work together, and sometimes you work alone when you do games. But for Star Wars, you definitely they like to make it a group situation so you can play off each other, which of course is always the best for acting.
Right. And have you actually been to any like the celebrations and stuff?
Of the Star Wars, I've been wanting to do that. I was going to go up north. There was one for the ranch.
Rancho Obi-Wan?
Yeah, I couldn't make it up there, but my fabulous publicist is Concetta Parker, and she's the publicist for Obi-Wan Ranch, so I'm dying to get up there.
Right. Yeah, I myself am one of these days going to plan to go to Star Wars weekends.
Yeah, where
down
are
in
they?
Florida.
Oh, in Florida. Oh, yeah, that's right. They have those. Yeah, you know what? It's just hard to get out around and do everything, but I would love to do one of those weekends. So hopefully one of these days I'll be invited and I can make it a, let's go to Disney World kind of a thing at the same time. That would be really
Right.
fun.
And I do follow you on I do follow you on your Facebook page, and it's
Good.
actually been fun seeing what you post sometimes.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and of course I try to keep up if there's anything that I'll be doing that's super fantastic. I always post it on my Twitter and my Facebook. And I'm launching. I just put up my newest animation sizzle reel, which shows a compilation for all those fans that don't know all my different work. I just made my latest compilation of a bunch of my characters. So that's on my YouTube page. And I'm relaunching my website in the next couple of days, so that'll be on there too. But for people that don't know all the different characters I play, that's a great way to see it.
Awesome. That would actually be really cool to watch it on YouTube.
Yep, that's on my YouTube channel. I have one that I also just posted that has my commercials I do and promos and narration, but there's one that's a dedicated animation sizzle reel, and that's something that I'm really proud of, and I edited it myself.
And what would that YouTube channel be?
TasiaValenza.com. Or actually, Tasia Valenza YouTube channel, sorry.
Okay.
TasiaValenza.com is my website, and then, of course, that gives out... that has an older... I actually have to put my link for my newest animation sizzle reel. That has an older version of it. But my YouTube channel has a bunch of different things that I've done and some of my on-camera work, and it's just quotes that I do and a video that I made, a Valentine video that I made for Apple, just kind of all the fun things that I like to share personally and with the fans, but even things that I'm passionate about.
Right, and that's something for me too. I have a YouTube channel, and I haven't uploaded it yet, but I did make for a gal that I had an interview with, Pam Rose. I actually made for her friend a Yoda Christmas card type thing.
Oh, cool! I just actually for Christmas I did that for what was it, the Sith? Well, Sith I actually did a 'Twas the Night Before Christmas in Shaak Ti isms, which was really fun to do. Did you see that? Or did
I
you
don't think I have yet.
Oh, that was cool. That was something I made for a podcast, and it was really it was 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. I forgot which one. I think it's full of Sith or Coffee with Kenobi. I'm just trying to remember. But that's another thing that's somewhere on my Facebook page. But it was all Star Wars isms that was turned into 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. Of course, we're past that point, but it is for Star Wars fans, though, we still appreciate that kind of creative.
Right.
Anyway, I have to fly.
Alrighty, well, thanks for coming and visiting with me today.
Yeah, it was a pleasure.
It's been a real pleasure. And would you like to end as Shaak Ti today?
Sure. It was more than a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Tony. May the Force be with you.
And may the Force be with you, too. Alrighty.